Ah, my child, sit here with me under this old mango tree. Let me tell you a true story, about a girl named Amara. It is a story of sorrow, but also of strength. A story that begins in pain, yet ends with purpose. You see, life has a way of hiding its greatest gifts in the most unexpected places. And sometimes, when the night feels darkest, that's when the stars begin to shine. This tale will show you why you must never give up, no matter how forgotten you feel. Amara was just 19 when the sky fell. It was a quiet Sunday morning when the news reached our village like a curse carried by the wind. Her parents had died in a terrible accident on the Abuja Expressway. Her father, a school teacher, and her mother, a nurse, had been on their way to a church conference. They never made it. I remember that day. The entire village stood still. The women stopped pounding yam. The children stopped playing. Even the birds seemed to pause their songs. Amara stood at the burial like a tree battered by storm, tall but stripped of everything. Her eyes were dry, but inside, her heart wept more than 1,000 rivers. All she had left was a necklace her mother gave her just weeks before. A simple silver chain with a pendant shaped like a dove. Her mother had said softly, "One day, this will lead you home." At the time, Amara didn't understand, but she never took it off. After the funeral, Amara was taken in by her mother's only sister, Mama Ifeoma. Now, on the surface, Mama Ifeoma was a respected woman in the village. She wore clean lace every Sunday and led the women's prayer group. But behind her compound wall, she was a different creature. From the first night, Amara realized she was no longer a daughter. She was a servant. She woke before dawn to fetch water, sweep the compound, and cook for everyone, including her cousins who mocked her and called her the orphan. She had been a brilliant student back when her parents were alive, always top of her class. But now, school was no longer for her. When she asked Mama Ifeoma if she could return to her studies, the woman laughed so loudly the neighbors could hear. "School? For a beggar's child? Go and wash the toilet," she shouted. Amara swallowed her tears and obeyed. Uncle Uche, Mama Ifeoma's husband, said nothing. He was a man who had lost his fight long ago. In the evenings, Amara would sit outside, her fingers touching her mother's necklace, silently asking the heavens why her life had turned into suffering. Yet, deep inside her, something refused to break. It was at the village well that the winds of fate began to shift. One afternoon, Amara went to fetch water, tired and dusty. As she leaned over the well, her tears mixed with the water. That's when he appeared, a man with silver in his hair, wearing a simple white shirt. His name was Mr. Dyke. No one knew much about him, only that he had returned from the city and kept to himself. He offered her water, and something about his presence calmed her spirit. "You remind me of someone," he said quietly, before walking away. From that day on, their paths crossed more and more. He never asked for anything, just talked, listened. One day, Mama Ifeoma accused Amara of stealing meat from the pot and dragged her into the market to disgrace her. But Mr. Dyke was there. He stepped forward and said, "Be careful how you treat this girl. Some destinies are hidden until it is too late." Mama Ifeoma's eyes widened. From that moment, she kept her distance. Amara didn't know why, but she began to feel watched, not in fear, but in protection. One night, After another cruel beating, Amara ran. She fled to her childhood friend Chica's house, bruised and shaking. "Enough is enough," Chica said. "You are not a slave, Amara." She took her straight to Mr. Dyke, who took them both to the city, to the home of a woman named Mrs. Ejiro, a soft-spoken lawyer who had once been her mother's closest friend. There, for the first time in years, Amara slept on a bed. In the morning, Mrs. Ejiro handed her a sealed envelope. "Your mother gave me this," she said gently. "She told me to keep it safe until the time was right." Amara opened it with trembling hands. Inside was a letter written in her mother's beautiful handwriting, and it read, "My beloved Amara, if you are reading this, it means I am gone. But you must know the truth, Mr. Dyke. He is your real father. We were in love before life pulled us apart. You were born from love, not shame. He never knew. I kept it from him because I was afraid. But you deserve to know who you are." Amara broke down, her heart torn open. Mr. Dyke, standing nearby, said nothing at first, but when he finally spoke, his voice shook. "I searched for your mother for years, and I never stopped thinking of her. I never knew she had a child." He reached out and held her hands. "Forgive me, if I had known," but Amara only wept in his arms. The love she had longed for all her life was standing before her. And more shockingly still, Mrs. Ejiro revealed that Amara was not only Dyke's daughter, she was also the legal heir to her late stepfather's company, and her mother had left shares in her name. From nothing, Amara became an heiress overnight. 2 months later, a black car rolled slowly into the village. Villagers gathered, peeking from their compounds, whispering. When the car door opened, out stepped a beautiful young woman in a simple but elegant dress. Her hair tied back, her necklace still shining against her chest. It was Amara, but not the Amara they remembered. This one stood tall, not with pride but with peace. She walked straight into Mama Ifeoma's compound. The old woman was speechless. "Amara," she stammered, you look different." Amara simply smiled and said, "No, Auntie, I've only become who I was always meant to be." She looked around and saw Mama Ifeoma's daughter, Ngozi, sitting with a book on her lap. Amara knelt and handed her a brown envelope. "For her school fees," she said softly. "No child should be denied education, not even yours." Mama Ifeoma wept, but Amara didn't gloat. She only left in silence. Today, Amara runs a foundation in Lagos. It's called the Dove House, named after the necklace her mother gave her. It provides shelter, education, and hope for orphan girls and abandoned children. She wears simple clothes, eats with her staff, sings with the children, and every time she touches that necklace, she smiles. For it didn't just lead her home, it led her to her purpose. They call her Mama Amara now, and the girl who once had nothing now gives everything. So you see, my child, pain is not the end of the story. Sometimes it is only the beginning. When life throws you into darkness, hold on, because the same fire that tries to burn you can also shape you, just like it did for Amara. And remember, no one can bury a destiny that God has written in the stars. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Like the rising sun, let it shine far and wide. Please like, share, and subscribe to Mama Africa Tales, where our stories live, breathe, and inspire. Until next time, may your journey be blessed and your soul never forget its roots.